October's Q&A. This month's special guest is Hanna.
I make vlogs, weekly vlogs and travel vlogs and advice, lifestyle type of videos and DIYs.
And also you're studying design, right?
Yeah, I do.
So we thought that the theme of this month's Q&A could be studying design, getting started in design. We've got some really good, detailed questions, so let's see how we go at answering them.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got some questions from Instagram, and Louise asks, are there skills you should have before going to design school, like being able to work Photoshop, etc.? What do you think?
I definitely understand, and I was concerned about that as well, but at my school it totally wasn't a problem. So we had some basic classes on how to use Photoshop and Illustrator and those kinds of things, and then if you were already familiar with the programs, you just didn't have to go to all of the classes. You could kind of...
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, I didn't know anything before, so those classes were definitely really helpful for me.
I learned as I went, pretty much. There was a few classes we had on learning the tools, but for the most part I just learned based on what I needed to do for a certain project.
Yeah.
As far as other skills though, I don't think there is really anything in particular, because that's what you're going there to learn, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if usually you already have things that you kind of picked up in your life that you don't even know that can come in handy.
Millie asks, what type of qualities do design-based jobs look for? For example, what do they look for in an applicant's CV other than just being creative and enthusiastic?
I guess they look for experience. I always try to make sure that I do projects that I think would look good in my portfolio.
Yeah, experience is one thing that everyone always looks for, and it's so difficult because everyone wants experience. So how are you going to get experience when you don't have experience?
Yeah, that's so true.
So basically you just need to take advantage of every single little opportunity you can, like little freelance jobs, working for non-profits or something, like even doing some design for your university potentially.
Yeah.
Anywhere you see an avenue to get some real world client experience, I say go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Lou says, controversial, but do you think a design related qualification should be a university degree, or does it belong to a separate institution? For example, is it comparable to, let's say, law/medicine, and does it deserve the same level of academic importance? What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Design, I went to design school, but my design school was actually a university that had other courses as well. Actually, Massey University, where I went, is quite famous for, I think it's veterinary program or something like that.
Okay, that's interesting.
And yes, lots of science degrees and things like that as well. So I don't think you have to go to a separate design school, but the separate design schools end up having a really good reputation.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the program as well. I feel like the program is always really different depending on the school you go to. So my school is focused on design and marketing as well. So there's a lot of different design things that you can do, but not medical. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't have any other programs. Yeah, so it's very specific, and you also do a lot of practical work. So yeah, I chose to go to that because you get a lot of experience, and it's not theory based as much, but I guess it always depends on the university and the program, how it's laid out.
I think design degrees in particular are always going to be really different depending on what school you're going to, so definitely check out the school in depth before you pick one. Yeah. And sort of in terms of what she was saying about comparing it to law and medicine, the difference with design is you don't have to have a degree, right?
Yeah,
whereas for law and medicine, I'm pretty sure you have to legally have a degree.
Yeah, if you don't finish medical school, they don't let you become a doctor. Whereas design, I guess what counts is your experience and the work you do. So
exactly. So it's kind of different in that way. Yeah. So it's about finding the school that's going to suit you and your learning style best. Kate says, did you struggle with coming up with new ideas, or because each time you were doing something different, were you able to have new ideas? Have you found this a struggle in your
I don't think I've ever struggled with finding new ideas in a way that I would have the same ideas twice, because I think you can find inspiration in anything that you see in your environment, I guess. But I definitely have been in the situation where I kind of had a creative block and I just couldn't think of anything that was useful in that sense. So I just went out and did something else and kind of took my mind off of it. And that's usually when you have an idea
when you're not trying so hard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think when I first started, I found it harder to come up with ideas, but the further you get into design and the more you do and the more ideas you have, it just gets easier, honestly, to come up with them. And like you said, you can be inspired by anything. So any little things around you can inspire you and spark an idea. So try not to worry about that too much. And like Hannah said, if you're finding the ideas aren't coming, just like take a break for a bit.
Yeah.
And let your brain rest. John asks, how long does it take to develop your own style, and should you be looking to redefine it or hone it more? Now, I have very specific ideas about style, and I actually did a video about this with Asante that we filmed at VidCon together, and that I don't think style is something you should try to like struggle to get. It's something that just evolves naturally over time. Do you agree?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I think you automatically develop a style without even realizing, and then when you look back at your work, you're like, oh, I'm starting to see a pattern here. I guess this is kind of my personal style.
Yeah, you shouldn't try for it, because I think then things will be a bit forced.
Yeah.
And perhaps you'll be trying to design something in a certain way that doesn't actually answer the brief, because you're just trying to like make it that certain style.
Yeah, no, I think you should just kind of try and find a good solution for the project that you're working on, and then I guess you automatically put your own spin on it without even realizing.
Exactly. Marissa says, anything I should be doing alongside my studies to help me stand out when job hunting?
If it's your passion, you're probably going to do it outside of university as well. You probably try and incorporate it in different hobbies and things that you do. So I guess, just experience is actually the most important thing. Just try to do as much as you can.
And you can make your own experience as well. I always talk about the fact that I have a t-shirt company. Oh, I'm wearing one of my t-shirts today.
Shameless plug.
That was not even planned. But having this t-shirt company that I started in university, I was able to talk about that in job interviews. And I think that companies found that really impressive, that I was, doing this in my own time and doing design just because I loved it so much. I think it just looked really good.
Yeah. I don't think experience has something to do with like a job as well. You can just do it, like you said, in your free time. Anything that kind of benefits your creative process in any way is definitely a good thing to do.
Sharon has a question about her portfolio that she's going to use to apply to university, I think. And she says, what skills would you advise me to showcase in my portfolio? For example, perspective, color, figure drawing, etc. Now, normally, when you're applying for like design jobs or freelance work, I would recommend like really narrowing down your portfolio and having like one type of work. But I don't think it's the same for applying to university. What do you think?
I think most universities actually have a little course or a little class where they talk about what they want to see in their portfolio. So try and look out if your university that you want to apply to has that. And if not, I guess just try and pick from your own work things that you're really proud of, or that you have a really cool story to tell about. I think that's really interesting if you have a cool backstory on a piece, and kind of what makes it really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Story is good. And try and have a range of work.
Yeah.
Because don't just show websites, for example. It's good to show that you can do, like you talked about drawing as well as, things that explore colors and, print pieces perhaps. Yeah, a range of things is good for a university portfolio. Yeah. We'll finish it off with this question from Kai. Says, what, if any, is the best way to organize your design project files structure-wise, and how do you organize your design files? Well, I have a video all about how I organize my design files. I'll leave it on a card. How do you organize yours? Have you got like a certain official structure?
I just have like files with my semester, and then I have the individual classes, and then the individual projects.
That's smart. Sounds sensible.
Yeah.
But definitely don't go naming your files like final V2.
Oh my God.
Don't ever call something final, because it'll never be the final.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way, and I was like, which one is the actual final one? No.
The one in capitals or the one with an exclamation mark? Okay, that's all the questions we have time for today, but if you've got any more about going to design school, getting started in design, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them there. Maybe you can pop in and answer them as well.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Make sure you head over to Hanna's channel and check her out, because her video is awesome, and we're about to film one all about how we got started in design, right? So you can head over and check that out. Make sure you subscribe to her while you're there. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, I guess. And I'll see you next time. Bye.